Hi guys, today's recipe is called Kunafa. It's a Middle Eastern sweet dish. It's like a sandwich of vermicelli filled with cheese or cream. We are going to make the cheese version today. So what I've done here is I've taken a Mehran vermicelli. It's the same vermicelli I use for sheer kurma. You're going to crush it until it's tiny. It's best if you do it when it's in the packet because otherwise it just goes everywhere. Anyway, crush it with your hands and use unsalted butter. I've taken about this much, it's 2 tablespoons, and you're going to mix it with the vermicelli here. You can also use melted butter or ghee. I've just taken the room temperature butter. You're going to mix it well with your hand and keep it aside. We're gonna bake today, so you'll be greasing your baking dish with some butter and place your vermicelli, make a layer of it and keep the rest aside. Now since I don't have enough vermicelli for such a big dish, I'm just going to be using half of it. So I'm going to tightly pack the vermicelli and press it down, after which we'll start with the cheese. Now traditionally I think you use ricotta cheese or mozzarella cheese. You can also use fresh paneer, crumble it, but I went for the shortcut here and I've used those almarai triangles. Cream cheese triangles. I've taken about 5, and because it's a little salty, I have added 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to mix it well. It was a little hard because I just took it out from the fridge, so I'm going to melt it in micro for about 10 seconds, and then it was creamy. Stir it well. I thought the cheese would be less for so much vermicelli, so I added 1 more. So total I've added 7 here, okay, not 6, 7. Some more sugar, and I mixed it. Now I saw some recipes that also added mozzarella cheese and I had it handy, so I put it in. It just becomes a little more chewy. Spread this creamy mixture on your vermicelli layer. Now again, this is a shortcut method. I know traditionally you don't use this cheese, but you can put whatever cream filling you want. I'll leave few links for other methods of this recipe which I saw, and they both are brilliant cooks, so you can follow them. Okay, then layer your cream cheese with the leftover vermicelli and tightly pack it. When you start prepping for this dish, you also preheat your oven. So after which, once it's ready, you bake it at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. The links that I'm going to share with you will also show you a way how to make it on a stove top, so don't worry. Meanwhile, we'll start making sugar syrup. I've taken half cup sugar, 1 cup water. I'm adding few kesar strands, saffron strands here, and about 2 tablespoons of rose water. Mix it well, and you don't need the 2-string thickness for this syrup. You just need to boil it until the sugar melts. Add few drops of lemon water so that it doesn't crystallize when it cools. Now we're going to chop some pistachios. You don't chop them, you powder them. So I've used a mortar and a pestle here, and the powdered pistachio is ready. Now all we got to do is wait for our baked kunafa. After 20 minutes of baking, this is how your kunafa will look. In case your kunafa, the vermicelli is still little undercooked and it doesn't have that golden layer, then put it back in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes more and keep checking. Once it's nicely baked and set, drop in the sugar syrup little by little and let it soak all the sweetie goodness. Now remember, your cheese is already having some sugar, so I'm not going to use this entire syrup, okay? Now this is the part where I got very scared and I used both my hands and I didn't concentrate on the camera. I had to flip this to the serving dish, so that's what I did. I just kept a plate on top and I flipped it, and the kunafa thankfully came out all together. So that's it. You set it to give it a shape, and this is the back side, right? So you add your sugar syrup on it as well. Again, as I told you, since we have already added sugar in the cheese, I'm not going to add too much of the syrup. Lastly, garnish it with some pistachios. Now, if you attempt to make this exact recipe, then let me tell you, it'll taste somewhere between salty and sweet. Actually, that's how kunafa is, okay? But my husband says that he had cream kunafa and it was only sweet, it was not salty. So that's a different version. If I find a link to some other blogger's recipe, I will definitely share it below. Okay, you can watch that. And that is it. This was very tasty. We finished it all. So now that we know it was a success, next time we crave, we don't need to order out. We can make this at home. It's easy. Do try this recipe. I'm going to leave all the details in the description box below. Subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, and follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave you with the music now. Thank you for your support. Bye.